said. "He's your father." Dad didn't answer. He turned away, muttering something about respect being earned. That was the moment I realized we couldn't stay there anymore. We packed that night in silence. Grandpa didn't want to go. He kept saying it was his son's home, that fathers should never be abandoned by their children. But I couldn't bear to let him stay. Mom helped him into the car, wrapping his hands carefully in gauze while I gathered his old photos and medicines. The wind outside was cold, and as we drove away, I watched the house fade in the rearview mirror. It didn't feel like home anymore. It felt haunted. We stayed at my aunt's house for a while. She welcomed us with open arms, no questions asked. Grandpa rested in a small room near the window, where sunlight poured in every morning. He smiled again there. He would sit and tell stories to my little cousins, his voice soft but warm, like he'd never been hurt. But some nights, I'd find him staring out the window, eyes wet, whispering prayers for my father. He still loved him, even after everything. A week later, Dad called. Mom didn't answer. The messages kept coming. Anger at first, then guilt, then silence. I didn't want to hear his voice. I didn't want excuses. What he did wasn't a mistake, it was a choice. But Grandpa asked us to forgive him. He's lost, he said. Don't let hate make you lost too. I didn't understand how he could still be so gentle after being treated that way. Maybe that's what real strength looks like. Not shouting, not fighting back, but choosing peace even when the world burns around you. That night, Grandpa asked me to sit beside him. He held my hand, his skin still marked by faint red scars. "Promise me," he said softly, "you'll never let anger decide for you. It destroys everything it touches." I nodded, tears filling my eyes. The next morning, he was gone. Peacefully, in his sleep. He left behind a small note tucked under his pillow. "Don't hate him," it said. "Build something better." When Dad came to the funeral, he couldn't look anyone in the eye. His hands shook as he placed a single white flower on the coffin. I watched him break for the first time, and for a brief moment, I saw the son Grandpa always saw in him, the boy who once built kites with his father, who laughed freely before life hardened him. The months after Grandpa's death passed like a blur. The house felt empty without his gentle laughter, without his stories that made even the darkest nights seem warm. Mom tried to stay strong, but I saw her breaking piece by piece. Every time she walked past his photo, she whispered an apology she could never finish. As for me, I kept hearing his last words echoing in my head, "Don't hate him. Build something better." I wanted to believe that, but the memory of that night, of my father's rage and Grandpa's pain, still burned in me like a scar that refused to heal. We never went back home.